Hey, what's up? DFS Rico coming at you today for this NBA DraftKings 9-game slate on Tuesday, March 10th. Just looking at it early on, I'm going to run through this really quick, short on time. So, looking at it after all the injuries, it's looking like Doncic is still questionable, so that's something to look out for because that could bump up Porzingis a lot. LeBron is questionable, but he plans to play, so I assume he's going to play. So Anthony Davis is probable. Just going through the injuries really quick. Ayton is questionable. If he plays, I do like him. Curry is at 78. Took part in shoot-around, but he's still questionable, so he's a solid play at that price. Aldridge is playing today, so that does give a slight bump down to DeRozan, but with Murray out, he gets that bump right back up, honestly. Just keep scrolling down. Oladipo's questionable. Robinson got switched to questionable. I think he doesn't play, which gives bumps to Randall and guys on that team. So I think that's it for the key injuries. Jerome Robinson's been playing a ton of minutes, so if he's out, I could see a huge bump to some guys. All right, just getting started really quick. I'm just going to give you my couple of my picks and a couple of input on some of these guys. So if Luka plays, I do like him at 11-1 in a good matchup. Russell Westbrook, if I'm looking to spend up on someone, it's probably going to be Russell Westbrook at 10.1 in a fantastic matchup versus Minnesota, which is actually playing at the fastest pace over the last month and allowing the most. They have the worst defensive rating over the last month. I do like Lillard for a GPP play. 9.1, he is a little bit underpriced for what he can bring to the table. Scrolling down a little more, Rubio is a good GPP. Kobe White at 6.8, if he is starting, which it says he is, he's been killing it ever since Levine has been out. So at 6.8 in a really good matchup versus Cleveland. Sexton's not going to be able to guard him, or Osman. They're both terrible defenders. I do like Kobe White. I have interest in him. I have interest in Elfrid Payton at 6.3. He's not playing a ton of minutes, but he just had a game 31 minutes a couple weeks ago against Washington, 46 fantasy points in 31 minutes. That's what I expect him to play, about 31 minutes. Shaq Harrison at 5K is a player I really like. Scrolling down. Matthew Dellavedova at 4K, I'm still really into him. He's been on a tear the last 2 games for his price. They did bump him up, but 4K, if he's going to be playing 35 minutes, I do really like him. So Dennis Smith Jr. he's expected to play. And then Patty Mills at 3.1 I have interest in Patty Mills at 3.1. Solid little price tag with Murray out. And I didn't mention Derek White, but I do like him as well at 4.6. But early on at point guard, I am going to be playing Shaq Harrison at 5K. Just going to give you some of my favorite plays at 5K. I do like Shaq Harrison in a fantastic matchup versus Cleveland. He's been playing really a ton of minutes since he came back from injury. 29, 34, and 36 over the last 3. I do like him a lot at 5K, so I'm going to be locking him in. One of my favorite plays today. Shooting guard. Guys I mentioned, I'd rather pay for Westbrook over Beal. Spend the money up for Westbrook over Booker as well. LeVert could be sneaky at 7.5. I do like him. I mentioned a lot of these guys. Hardaway, I do like Hardaway if Doncic is out. I do like him. I like Beasley a lot at 6.2, shooting guard eligible only. He's probably one of my favorite plays on the slate in a fast-paced matchup versus Houston. Houston's a terrible team, defensively at least. They can put up points with anybody, but defensively, they're not too good. And I feel like this game suits Beasley's game style a lot. So I do like Beasley a lot at 6.2. Scrolling down, Lou Williams is out today, I believe. Yeah, he should be out, so I might give a bump to some of the Clipper guys. Let me put this on. Sorry. Derek White, mentioned him. Mentioned Dellavedova. Troy Brown Jr. is looking really good. With all the injuries on the Washington team, I do expect him to play a ton of minutes, so I do like him at 3.7 for a nice little value play. If you expect Bryn Forbes to get a couple more minutes of run with Murray out, he's solid at 3.5. Patty Mills, I mentioned him. So just right now, I am going to be plugging in Dellavedova. He's been letting me, he's been showing up the last 2 games. Against Denver, I played him. Didn't think he would play that good, and he did. And against a good defense. Chicago is a good defense versus point guards and shooting guards, but they haven't been too good lately without Levine and Dunn. They were the main anchors on the defensive end. And Satoransky's a good defender as well, but he should be moving to the bench if Kobe White is starting. So I'm going to plug in Dellavedova at 4K. I do like him a lot. At small forward, I mean, can't go wrong with guys like LeBron, Leonard, Tatum. George at 7.7. If that game can remain close, he seemed like he came back to where he should be this last game. He was having a terrible shooting night, and he showed up. Hopefully it wasn't just because it was an important game. Hopefully he's actually back. At 7.7, I could see me paying up for him. If Curry plays, because I feel if Curry doesn't play this game, we'll just blow out. Another guy I really like, DeRozan at 7.4, one of my favorite plays with Murray. He has a 30% usage rate, 1.35 fantasy points per game. With Murray out, it's going to have a lot more ball handling opportunities. Robert Covington in a really good matchup versus Minnesota. I like him. Pascal at 5.7. He should be coming off the bench with great Draymond out. So even if they get blown out, I do kind of like him just due to the fact that I feel like he's still going to get that extra run since he is coming off. He is a bench guy. 4.6 for Porter's not looking too bad. Did play more minutes last game. So a lot of the guys I mentioned, Troy Brown. Dorian Finney at 3.7. If he plays, I do like him. Could be a different play off of Troy Brown. I think that's it at this price. So just looking at it now, DeRozan's probably my favorite around this 7K range. There's a lot of guys in that mid-tier range that I like, but DeRozan's going to be the guy I'm plugging in just due to the injuries on the team and stuff like that. I really like him. So plug him in. Power forward. I do like AD up top, even with LeBron, and I do like him. I like Ayton if he plays. Aaron Gordon at 7.9 in a fast-paced matchup is looking pretty good. I do like him as well. Julius Randle in a great matchup. Aldridge at 6.5. If I can expect that he's going to play 34, his regular minutes, 34, 35 minutes, 6.5, that's too cheap for him. But, I mean, we just don't know. So I could see throwing a dart on him, and hopefully. Larry Nance should get a lot of extra run with Tristan Thompson out. Could be sneaky at 6.4. Chicago is terrible against big men. Scrolling down. No more Lyles with Aldridge back. Markkanen at 4.7 can be solid. Keep scrolling down. Dorian Finney, I mentioned him. I think that's really it at this position, I believe. Just going through all the guys, I think that's all I really want to talk about. For playing less lineups, I mean, if you're playing multi-entry, a lot of these guys are way better, but, I mean, someone like me is not playing mass entry. You know, I'm playing 3 entries or 1 entry. I don't need a huge player pool. Porzingis at 9.3 if Doncic is out, like I mentioned. Whiteside is looking good in his matchup. He just had this matchup a couple days ago and dominated at 58 fantasy points in 40 minutes. Drummond at 8.7 is in a smash spot versus Chicago. If I could project him for like 32 minutes, I mean, he's looking fantastic, but we just don't know. He only played 33 minutes last game, and that was with the overtime. So on regular, he put in 28 minutes. I mean, he still put up a ton of fantasy points, so I could see me playing him in a couple lineups, or at least in the lineup. Marquise Chris at 6K is looking really good in a spot where the Clippers really struggles at center. If the game can stay close. Baines at 5.9. He just had this same matchup. Dominated. I do like him as well. I think that's really it. Thomas Bryant, a nice little flyer at 3.9. I think that's it right there. But so power forward and center, there's a lot of ways you can go, so I'm not really going to give a pick for that. I mean, these guys are the guys I really feel confident in. And then at guard, I am going to go with just another guard that I really like is 6.2. Malik Beasley's been really consistent lately. He's been over 30 fantasy points in the last 4 games and in good matchups. He's getting a pace-up spot and a really good matchup against Houston. As long as this game can remain close, he's going to put up over 20 shots. And I really like him in this matchup against Houston. So at 6.2, I will be plugging him in as one of my core plays. So these 4 guys are really my core plays right now. I really like every single one of them. Good amount. Gives you 6.8 per player to build around these guys. Looks like Victor Oladipo is playing, so that's good. Yeah, that's about it. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you have any questions before lock at 5. I mean, anything could change from now, so don't assume these guys are locked in forever. But as of right now, I mean, these are some of my favorite plays. So, but like I always say, things could change, so pay attention to injuries. Just perfect example was like last night. Everyone I wanted to play was scratched. So, yep. Thank you. Thanks for watching.